Hi there. Thanks so much for being here. You're watching this video because you either have recently joined my Happy Healthy Dinner Club or you are one of my coaching clients, whether that be one of my 3-month intensive nutrition clarity clients all done online, or whether you're one of my personalized in-person clients. You're getting this booklet because a lot of my nutrition is all based around the Happy Healthy Dinner Club meal concepts. So it's really, really important that you understand how they work. I'm not going to go into too much detail about macronutrients, calories, and micronutrients in this video because there's lots you can read up on in this Nutrition Clarity Bible. And if you're doing my coaching programs, you're going to get an 18 video series of education that's absolutely going to help you understand good nutrition for life. But in particular, with your personalized Zoom calls or consults, you are going to get a really good understanding of what is perfect for you. So obviously with macros, just quickly, there's 3 types, 4 including alcohol, but we're not going to talk about that one today. So there is protein, carbs, and fat. It's really important that we understand if we really want to maintain a healthy weight and have good, healthy body composition for life, that we focus more on our more on our macronutrients than calories. So macros actually convert to calories, so it's really important that if we focus on the macros, we're actually going to get our calories right as well. So let's focus on the macros that do the things we need within the body and are metabolically processed in different ways that change our hormonal makeup, our cell makeup, and the way we metabolize fat to give us great results. So if you think of carbs and protein, they both equate to 4 calories per gram, whereas fat, 1 gram equates to 9 calories. So of course in the old days people got scared of fat because if you look at the science and the maths behind 1 gram of fat equally 9 calories, people get scared of that. But the problem being is healthy fats are absolutely essential for good hormonal health. They actually can help us burn fat, and healthy fats such as polyunsaturated and monounsaturated fats are the ones that improve our cholesterol. So before I get too carried away about telling you heaps about macros, because you can learn about it in this book that you're reading, or you can learn about it in my education videos that you all get access to no matter what program you've signed up for, let me tell you about the meal concepts that I've created and how they absolutely help people get good results without having to count calories or worry about the nutrients themselves, because I've done the work for you. Happy days. Okay, so every single dinner club meal will always be over 25 grams of protein. Now, there's a really important reason that I'm in the middle of the bush here. There's a really important reason that I have done that, and that's because we need to maintain a constant state of protein synthesis, which is when our cells are synthesizing the amino acids out of protein so we can rebuild our cells, tissue, and muscle continuously, so we can build lots of lean muscle and burn more fat. So every single dinner club meal will always be over 25 grams of protein, ensuring that no matter what size or body composition you have, you will always be eating enough protein to maintain a healthy weight. The other great thing about eating a high protein diet is the fact that it always makes us feel full. And when we feel full, we feel satisfied, so we are less likely to make bad mistakes or poor choices in situations where we haven't got healthy food readily available. So, why does protein make us feel so full and satisfied? It's absolutely hard for us to break down and metabolize within the gut and the small intestine. So because it's harder to break down, we feel fuller for longer. The other thing that's really important to make us feel full for longer and is really essential to having good gut health is fiber. A diet that's high in fiber will make our digestive system run better, obviously help us go to the bathroom, and increase our good gut bacteria so we have better gut health, which then results in better hormones and actually results in a better hormonal position to metabolize everything better anyway. So fiber isn't actually known as a macronutrient, even though it's just as important as macronutrients. It's actually a micronutrient, but I just wanted to emphasize the importance of all of our meals being high in fiber, which basically means we just need to make sure we eat enough fruit and vegetables. Of course, I've got your back covered with that as well. So back to the meal concepts, every single meal, 25 grams of protein. Then if we want to look at the energy, which is calories, but I like to refer as calories as energy because all they actually are is a unit of measure for energy. So every single dinner club meal is calorie balanced. Now, because I'm not anal about calories and I focus more on macros, I just have calorie rules. So we look at super lean meals, they're always between 300 and 450 calories. 300 because I want to make sure that you are getting enough energy in all of the meals. If you're eating meals underneath 300 calories, it's not enough to make you feel energized and fantastic as we should throughout our days and in between our meals. So every meal will always be a bare minimum of 300 calories. Super lean will then go up to 450 calories, and once we take that hurdle over the 450 calories, we move into our low carb, high fat and our balanced meals, which are always between 500 and 600 calories. And the low carb, high fat and the balanced meals are very different because of their macronutrient makeup. And depending on what your personal goals are, your hormonal situation, the amount you exercise and what you really want to get out of your nutrition will depend on what meal concepts you should be using. So of course you've got a couple of options to find out which one's going to be best for you. Of course you can consult with me, you can do coaching with me, but if you're someone that hasn't got the budget to be able to do that, you're in a good place because I've invented the Happy Healthy Dinner Club to work for everybody, and I do understand that a lot of people can't afford one-on-one coaching. So with the Dinner Club, you can actually use the meal plans that I've provided with you in this service absolutely for free that normally cost over $300 each, and you can actually test out which one is going to be better for you. There's 4 to choose from. I definitely advise that if you're going to try them out, you do it for 7 days and you do a food, mood and movement diary and actually see how your body responds. Once you've done all of them and seen which one you feel best on, you can then obviously take it to the next step and do it for a month. Track your progress and results and start playing around with the meal concepts at dinner time to see how you feel and obviously how your body changes and responds. Intuitive eating is my most passionate thing I am passionate about, which is teaching people how to tap into their own body's intuition and learn what food and nutrients and calories and macros are best for them. So back to low carb, high fat and balanced. Basically, if you were looking at a low carb, high fat meal plan approach, you're looking at a meal plan that's high in healthy fats, moderate in protein and low in carbohydrates. With my meals in particular, low in complex carbohydrates because I avoid simple carbohydrates at all costs. You can read why in this booklet. So with a low carb, high fat meal and a low carb, high fat meal plan, it's low in carbohydrates. With the Dinner Club meal concepts, it's no more than 15 grams of complex carbohydrates per serve. I also want you to identify that we do have non-starchy vegetables that are low carb, but they're high in micronutrients and low in macros, so they don't actually get calculated. To understand that more deeply, please refer to the section in this booklet on micronutrients and get an understanding of what non-starchy vegetables are, also herbs and spices, and add as much as you can into your diet to get best results. So low carb, high fat, we have 25 gram minimum of protein, we have low carbohydrates, no more than 15 grams, and the rest of the meal is made up with healthy fats. Polyunsaturated fats, monounsaturated fats, omega fatty acids, all fantastic for lowering the body's inflammation and improving hormone regulation. So if you're a female that struggles with any hormonal issue, whether that be fertility, whether that be endometriosis, polycystic ovary syndrome, or if you're perimenopausal, low carb, high fat diets are fantastic for you. If you're also someone that doesn't get as much physical activity as you would like to, you don't need to eat as many carbohydrates as someone that trains a lot does. Carbohydrates are fantastic for energy and building muscle, but they can also cause insulin resistance, which can also upset our hormonal balance and make us carry weight, in particular visceral fat, around our mid-center. So if you're someone that's not moving much, you still need to eat a lot of energy and calories to feel great, but you just need to focus more on your macros to make sure you're not over consuming carbs, glucose, which will then turn into fat in the cell anyway. Which moves me on to my balanced meals. So balanced meals are obviously, as the name suggests, they're a very balanced meal. So they have pretty much moderate protein, carbohydrates, and healthy fats. They will always have more complex carbohydrates than healthy fats because the meal is all about making sure you're getting enough complex carbs. Now, these meals are fantastic for people that go to the gym, and I absolutely recommend if you're someone who trains early in the morning that you eat balanced meals the night before so you have lots of energy when you train in the morning, fuel in your tank ready to go. Now, when I say fuel in your tank, I also mean fuel in your cells. So if you think about energy being stored in your cells to use, in particular, if we're talking about carbohydrates, we're talking about glycogen being stored in your liver and your cells. It's a fantastic fuel source for you to use to also put to work to help you build more muscle. It keeps the muscles hydrated, so when you train, you don't get as fatigued. And working hand in hand with protein and the amino acids you get from protein, you can build lots of lean muscle, which means you're going to burn more fat. So the other thing I want to point out is when you look at fitness nutrition versus clinical nutrition, you need to look at your body composition holistically and measure yourself more on viewing physical changes on how your body changes rather than how much you weigh, because muscle does weigh 3 times more than fat. It will shrink your body size and it will make you healthier. So please, women watching this, don't start weighing yourself and go by the kilos that you lose. Let's focus on muscle versus fat and realize that a body with higher muscle mass has a leaner body fat percentage, but you may potentially weigh more. Anyway, that's the stuff that I get into real detail with my coaching clients. And of course, if you're someone that's coaching with me in person, we do body scans as well. So that's pretty much in a nutshell how the meal concepts work. There's a few more things you need to know, such as going into the nitty gritty of super lean. Super lean can be broken down into standard super lean and super lean low carb, high fat. So obviously with that, it's when we look at the macro split of the super lean meals, and if something fits into a low carb, high fat category, it means it has less than 15 grams of carbs, but is still under that 450 calorie rule. So that's for those people that don't need as much energy calories as other people that do. You're better off to stick to the low carb, high fat style super lean meals if you want a low carb, high fat style plan. Please refer to my super lean meal plan that you're going to get, so it makes a little bit more sense. Now, we also need to pay attention that there is the minimum rule of protein being 25 grams or more, which means I'd like to also identify that some people need more protein than others, and that's why there's the additional hashtag of VHP, which stands for very high protein, which basically means that meal has more than 40 grams of protein per serve, and it's a very high protein meal. So for someone that needs to eat more protein, they're the ones you should be looking for. If you're someone that lifts a lot of weights and you have high muscle mass, you will also need more protein than someone that doesn't have high muscle mass or weigh more or need more protein. Again, that's a calculation that can be worked out for you. If you have any questions on that, you can reach out to me personally. So outside of knowing the VHP hashtag, we also have the Great Workout Meal, GWM hashtag, which means the carbs are really high in the balanced meal. So there's more carbs than anything else, generally over 50 grams or 50% macro split of carbohydrates in that meal means it's a great workout meal. So what that means for people that don't work out is you actually want to avoid great workout meals as much as you can, because when you eat more carbs, you get more glucose, and that's when you run the risk of having insulin resistance. And that's where obesity is being created from in Western society, is people eating way too many carbohydrates from the old school food pyramid that was absolutely incorrect. And of course, processed foods that are high in refined carbohydrates that we want to avoid at all costs. So yes, carbs are good in the right situation. Don't be scared of them. It's about knowing what's right for your body and obviously getting recipes and meals that have been balanced for you, hence the dinner club. So great workout meals are fantastic for those people that exercise a lot, 5 times a week, they're lifting weights, they need the carbs. Absolutely, they're the meals you want. If you're not in that category, then just try and avoid those meals or have one a week rather than having them all of the time. That's how you're going to get results. It's about consistency is key. And that's why the dinner club is more about a lifetime or a lifestyle plan rather than just a quick diet. It's more about learning about nutrition and what's going to be right for you, which is why the education part of this is my biggest passion, even more than creating the delicious recipes that you're going to get to eat every single week. So outside of those meal concepts, we have a few more things that I like to obviously make note of. If it's a vegan or vegetarian meal, I'll let you know that when I create the recipes. I also put a GMP, which is great meal prep, which means it lasts in the fridge for 3 days or more, or the meal can be frozen. Just keep an eye out if it says GMP on a salad. That means it can last in the fridge. Obviously, we don't want to be freezing salads. Apart from that, there's kid-friendly meals to make sure your kids are going to like it. My daughter Emily has been a fantastic test as a fussy toddler to make sure that the kid-friendly thing actually applies. But apart from that, most of the other info that you need on the Dinner Club is available in this book, or you can obviously send me an email and ask me a question that you need. But the best thing I would love for you to do is make use of our VIP Facebook community. We've got members in there that have been members since day one of launching the club, and they know so much about nutrition and they know everything about how the meal concepts work. So sometimes when I'm busy with clients, I can't obviously reply straight away, and our community will step in and help you out. Also, I would really love to see you posting your photos of your food and your journey within the club, because all that does is inspires and motivates everyone else to stay on track and really achieve good nutrition for life. That's it from me. Thank you so much for joining the Dinner Club or one of my coaching programs. I cannot wait to help you out on your journey. As I said, if you need anything, reach out. I really am truly here to help people have good nutrition for life. It's my sole mission and life purpose. I'll speak to you soon. Coach J-Lo.